Hi guys, in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to create a new Django project and deploy the Django project onto Heroku, which is platform as a service service provider, which holds all of your Python, your Node applications. It has a free tier and paid tiers, so you can choose between the different options. I use the free tier for mostly testing and debugging purposes, and I found it really useful to have this free tier as an option to test out your applications. So before you get started on this tutorial, you will have to have Django and Heroku installed first. To install Django, it's quite easy because you just have to have Python installed, which I presume that you had, and you just need to run pip, the Python package manager, and install Django that way. This is the official website of Django, and the link will be down in the description below, so you can check it out if you want to. And to install Heroku, it's quite easy as well. You just have to go to this website and download the Heroku CLI, which stands for Heroku Command Line Interface. You can download it for macOS or Windows or Ubuntu even, and you have to have these two installed first before you get started on this tutorial. But without further ado, let's jump straight into the tutorial. So now that you have installed Python, Django, and Heroku CLI, you want to log in to Heroku in the CLI using the following command: Heroku login. Now what this does is it will ask you to press any key to open up the browser, and it will redirect you to the browser, and you can log in Heroku through this way. Now after logging in, you can see that it says you can close the page now and return to the CLI, and you can see that I'm now logged in. So now that you have logged in, just clear the command line, and what you want to do is to create a directory, a folder for your Django project. For me, I'll say test YouTube Django Heroku project. I just create a new folder called YouTube Django Heroku, and I'll cd to that folder. And then what you want to do is after you have installed Django, and what you want to do is to install one more thing called virtual environment. So in my case, it's already installed, but type in pip install virtual env, and it will install virtual environment on your machine. Now, what virtual environment does is it creates a separate Python directory, separate Python folder in your specific folder. And what it does is it separates it from your global Python environment. So what you just did, pip install virtual env, is you install the virtual environment into your global Python side packages. Now, creating a virtual environment will separate the global Python environment to your local Python environment. So that separates the whole, so it doesn't clutter up the global space, let's say. So after you have installed virtual environment, go ahead and type in virtual env and env. Now it will, what this does is it installs creates a new Python virtual environment in your directory under the folder name env, and you can see when you ls directory, you can see that there's a folder called env there. So after all this, you will need to type in source env bin activate to your terminal. So this activates the virtual environment and put the current context into the virtual environment. So whenever you do Python, so let's say which Python, it shows that this is the Python path, where if you deactivate your virtual environment and type in which Python, you see this is a global path, which is the user bin Python. This is the global path basically in your machine, so you don't want that. So just go ahead and do that, and source env bin activate. And after you've activated your environment, go ahead and install Django. If you will have to install Django again in the virtual environment to ensure that Django is inside your virtual environment. So after you have installed Django in your virtual environment, you are good. You are set for the next part of the tutorial. Now that you have installed Django in your virtual environment, go ahead and type in the following pip command, which installs the following packages to your virtual environment. Just hit enter. And as I've already installed the packages, so it says requirement already satisfied. But now that you have installed all the packages, go ahead and cd into your the Django project you just created. You cd the change directory to it, and go ahead and do the following command: pip freeze requirements.txt. Now what this does is it puts all the current packages in pip in this virtual environment into a text file called requirements. If you echo the requirements.txt, if you nano the requirements.txt, you can see the following packages, and these are necessary. This file is necessary for the whole Django Heroku thing to work, because Heroku needs it to install packages. So now that you have done all of that, you are ready to start coding a bit. Actually start changing the settings of Django a bit. Now that you have done installing the packages, now go ahead and open up the Django project, which you just created in your favorite IDE or text editor. My favorite text editor is Visual Studio Code. I think it's really good. I think it's the best. It has a lot of flexibility in terms of how you want the code to be presented to you, and I think it's just better than Atom in every way. So I highly recommend you using this Visual Studio Code. Now go ahead and open your Django project. It's here. It's YouTube Django Heroku in my case. Just go ahead and open it. Don't worry about the environment. Actually, you have to open the whole environment as well. And after you have opened the folder with env and your Django project containing in it, go ahead and add one line to the requirements.txt. That is scicog2 equals 2.6.1. Actually, let me check if the scicog2 is 2.6.1 is the latest package. It probably isn't. Okay, go ahead and type in scicog2 and 2.8.4 is the latest package. Go ahead and type that into the requirements.txt. Now, what this does is it allows Heroku to install this PSY, I don't know how to pronounce it, PSY COPG2 in the Heroku environment, because we'll use it as our database interface to Django. So yeah, go ahead and type that in. Now that you have altered your requirements.txt, you need to create a new file in the Django project folder. It's called prog file. So this is and copy the following text line to it. Now here, you want to change this from my site to your Django project name. So in this case, it's YouTube Django Heroku. YouTube Django Heroku.wsgi. So this is a Heroku specific file which tells the server to run Unicorn with the YouTube Django Heroku WSGI, which runs the Django applications. So after you've done that, go ahead and just now, don't worry about it. Just create a new settings file. So if you have done Django before, you probably know that there's a settings file for every Django project. You create a new one called Heroku _settings. .py inside your the folder where, no, this should be ws. This is, what's this? Let's just delete this. Under your settings.py. What it does is, what you want to do next is import the original settings into Heroku settings, so it like it inherits the settings module, Python module, but it changes the settings a bit. So you want to include all of these in there. This is Heroku settings that Heroku will be using in when running the application in Heroku. Now you also have to change a bit the wsgi.py. You also have to change a bit into the following. You have to change into the following. You have to add an import statement and import cling, Django statics cling, and put the cling wrap get wsgi application, the function inside the cling function in application. So after you've done all of this, you are ready to go to the next part. Now that you have pushed the committed files onto the remote Heroku locations, now what you want to do, the last step, is to type in the following command: Heroku ps scale web1. Now what this does is it creates a new server instance for your application, which allows you to run the Python application. Now just tap that. Now it says running web, and if you type in Heroku open. Now one thing that I forgot to tell you guys is that you have to create a new path in your project slash in the URLs module. You have to create a new path, new path, and let's say a views dot index. Yeah. In here you will type in .views import. You type in .import views. Now what this does is it imports the views module, which we have not created, which I will create now, into the URLs module. And in here, go ahead and type in Django dot HTTP import HTTP response, and in here type in def, create a new function, definition index, which we referenced earlier, and the parameter type in request. Now here, what you want to do is just return HTTP response hello world, let's say. Now that you have typed in all that, we have to do is commit everything. First, you have to add dot, which adds the files into which adds the fuse file into Git, and typing git commit all with message commit or whatever you want to. And now that it's it's committed, you want to do git push Heroku master next, which pushes the file onto Heroku. Just wait a second, and it should be deployed automatically. It's installing the requirements, which this is a standard process of deploying in Heroku. Just wait a second. Now it should be deployed. What you can do now is type in Heroku open. You should see hello world. So that's how you deploy Heroku, deploy a Django application to Heroku. Thanks for watching, and if there are further questions, feel free to answer it down below in the comment section. If you have any videos that you want me to make in the future, and feel free to type it in, and feel free to comment in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much.